These Chinese ripoffs, man, they are getting cheaper and cheaper. My goodness, it's like they're not even trying anymore. I mean, come on, really? Get this cheap knockoff out of here. Can't believe they're wasting their time like that. Unbelievable. Hello there gamers, Retro Rob here, and I have got a video that was a long time in the making. Well, at least in the long time of getting to. And it was requested a whole lot over the last couple years. It's one of the few Famiclones that I haven't done, and that one of course is the Super 8-bit game system. Yep, it is the one that looks like a PS1. And it has a whole lot of interesting art, but of course, you know, we always start with the front of the box. Super 8-bit game, new version with audio video cable. What, did the old one not include a cable? What, it had no output. That's what it did. No output whatsoever with the old version. This one gets an AV cable. Good job, guys. TY888. I love the way the guy looks like he's kicking the console. Like, get the heck out of here. The right side of the box. 2 gamepads, game card, oh I'm excited, laser gun, cable AV, and transformer. It's more than meets the eye, you know. The left side of the box, Super 8-bit game. The top of the box has some kicking going on. Why are these guys drawn and this guy's a silhouette? Is it because he's further back? Or is he just wearing all black? I don't understand this art. The bottom of the box says the same thing as most of the sides. Super 8-bit game is written on the back of the box. This is so worth it. The machine. Experience unsurpassed 64-bit graphics and CD quality sound running at an awesome 94 megahertz. Okay. Alright. Let's just keep going. The controller. Reach new levels of accuracy and play control with the ergonomically designed controller featuring 14 buttons and analog control stick. I don't see an analog control stick. I guess it is ergonomically designed. It was designed by Sony and bastardized by these guys. Fair enough. Okay. The games. Graphics put you in real-time 3D environments. Oh, jeez. Get ready for speed and excitement in an endless array of perspectives. Plug and play. Probably the only truthful statements here. Stereo AV cable. No, there's only one cable, I'm pretty sure. One audio cable. Stereo AV cables are included for the highest quality picture and stereo sound. Plus, you can have your fun zone connected to your TV simultaneously. Wow. Alright, let's get this thing out of the box. I cannot wait. The excitement has built to a fever pitch. Alright, get this wrapping off. That was easy, unlike so many of these. Alright. It's a little tab, so I'm going to assume that's where you open it from. Oh, crap. Alright, so it has the super cheap styrofoam. That was really loud. Something in the background, I don't know if you can hear it. I've got some sound cancellation, so maybe you can't hear it. But you can see this beauty. Look at that. What a device. Okay, so it's got the gun, which we're not going to test here right now. You'll need a CRT if you want to use that gun. That's not happening yet. You know, in the future, they will probably get a like a bar or something so you can play the light gun games with it. There's something for you guys to work on. I'm almost afraid to open this up because oh no, you know what? This styrofoam is less cheap than I thought it might be. Alright, it's holding together. Alright, so there is the gun. I'm not going to show it for too long because Lord knows YouTube. I actually, we had a, I think it might have been Facebook, limited one of our videos, Guys, Games, and Beer, because I had Larry pointing to the screen with a clearly fake gun. It was orange. But anyway, enough of that. The device itself, we'll set that aside for a moment. Look at it. We've got AV cables, absolutely not in stereo. One of those is video. It's pretty short. It's about a 5-footer. And the plastics are really, you know what? They're not the worst I've seen, but they're definitely not the best. At least there's some reinforcement here and here, but do note that this is a pretty short cable. Okay, the controllers, oh wow. They feel okay, but it is very light, very cheap. I can easily twist it. The buttons feel super cheap. So does the D-pad. They did do the split D-pad, so it's not going to have the locking problem that so many have. These buttons are rubberized. I'm kind of surprised about that. They went through that trouble. Yeah. And it's got a standard 9-pin connector. So, yeah, we can assume that these are really just basically Famicom controllers. Okay, they sent me an adapter for you European folks. Unfortunately, I don't have this plug, but I do have an adapter around for it, so we can live through that. It's alright. Won't end the show. Next, we have the game system itself. Watch this. Ooh, ready for some Famicom action. Reset button, power button. Showed you the open. 9-pin on the top. Has spaces for rubber feet. They did not bother to put the rubber feet on. AV output and DC input. I'm losing hope on this one. Gotta say, my hopes for this are draining away fast. Also, it said there was going to be a cartridge in here, and yeah, no, I don't see any cartridge whatsoever. So we're gonna have to use our own. I will see what's built in though. Some connection instructions on a sheet of paper. Yeah, I'm so surprised that, it's funny how I act like I'm surprised that there's no cartridge in here when, like, everything else on there was false advertising. Alright, so here we go. I'm gonna go hook this sucker up and take it for a test spin. Hey, before I go on, look at the plastics on here. Yeah, that just does not look good. Alright, we'll play it now. Hello there, folks, and welcome to the main screen of the Super 8. It declares it has 9,999,999 games on it. Oh boy. It does not. It starts repeating pretty quickly. I think on the third or fourth. Yeah, F1 race is already showing up again. And then every once in a while it mixes things in, so you have a hard time figuring out how many games there really are. But I think this one has a little bit less than average, because I see F1 race coming up over and over and over again. So, yeah, not real great there. But let's see how it plays what it has. And here we go with one of my perennial favorites, Twin B. By the way, if you're wondering if I'm going to do the F1 race test, yes, of course I am. Alright, so I played it before this, and the controls do work well enough, But because of the nature of the split D-pad, it doesn't feel as natural to me. Now, you guys that play like the PlayStation Portable or the PSP, acting like I'm an expert, or the PSP, will probably be a little bit more comfortable with this controller than I am. I mean, I do play a PSP, but this is not amazing. But it does work. I'm not gonna count it off too many points because it does seem to be fairly reliable and the rapid fire works well enough. It's just a little bit distracting. At least it's not getting stuck like many of them. I'll give it a pass, but only because it does what a controller is supposed to do. It feels amazingly cheap in the hands, for the record. Really, really pretty cheap, but still way more reliable than you'd think for the way it feels. Alright, let's try another game. Maybe some F1? F1 race is off to a good start. I can see the entire screen. There's no hack message at the bottom. That's good. One thing I am going to note is that on this controller, the A and B are above each other instead of next to each other, which kind of throws you off every once in a while. A lot of companies have been doing that, which I think is just weird. Okay, we're slamming into the first turn, and look at that. It passes the F1 test. It did not reverse controls, which is what many of these cheap Famiclones do. They just reverse controls right once they slam in the first turn, and then they straighten out for a while, and almost every turn they reverse them again. You know, I'm going to say that this controller holds up way better on this racing game than it did on the shooting game. This is really not bad. I could play this. It's fine. Alright, so here is 100-meter dash, and of course what's happened here is they've hacked up track and field into a bunch of different games to make it seem like they're doing different games when they're not. This is one of the easiest of them. Come on. What? It didn't show the lights. Oh, for goodness sake. Come on. Get him. Get him. Oh, I don't think I'm going to get him. Oh, I did get him. Nice job. There's a number of these. The problem is, without the entire game, they kind of lose their cohesion and aren't quite as fun. Would have been nice if they would have left the game intact. Here we go with Battle City, which is, of course, a classic game, which I wasn't really aware of until I got this station and people started telling me that I should play it. And it is a fun game, and it works just fine here. There's nothing wrong with it, per se. I should probably be defending my base, though. Ah, sucker. I don't like the looks of that one. You're dying. There we go. Yeah, it works fine. I think one of the problems with this game system is the games repeat so often, it just doesn't seem like there's that many games on here. Let's pop a cartridge in and try something on there. Well, that didn't work very well. Let's try wiggling it. The thing has got a death grip on this cartridge. Jeez. Get up. Alright, let's try this again. Ha! There we go. Some Puyan. You know, oh, this controller. It feels so cheap. I'm honestly surprised every time it works, but it has not missed a beat, even though my gameplay has. Hey, there we go. Huh. I should have done all three. Yeah, well. No worries. Oh, he got me. I used to play this game in the arcades. Boy, I am not as good as I used to be. I'll say that. There we go. Kind of tries to punish you for hanging out at the top a little bit. There. Come on, die. I don't know what their defense is. Oh yeah, they got little shields. Alright. That worked pretty well. I'm gonna try another cartridge real quick. Alright, let's try a Nintendo cartridge plugged into a Famicom converter, plugged into a Famiclone. This is a great idea. Alright, so I would not have expected that to work. I suppose, why not? If regular Famicom cartridges work, I guess a NES one should work with an adapter, right? But still pretty neat nonetheless. We'll just play a couple seconds here, see how the controller holds up. Come on, Tiger Helicopter. Ooh, I forgot how not great this game was. Some kid got this game for his birthday and had to play the living heck out of it. I'm sure of it. I bet there's a few guys out there who probably like this. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's just not amazing. And I wonder if it plays better on the real thing, although I don't recall it being much better. You know, every once in a while this controller sticks to the right a little bit. Maybe I'm not pressing hard enough? Let's see. No. No, yeah, it just stuck right there. It stuck for just a second. Well, that's kind of problematic. Let's see if a multi-cart works. Alright, so this is pretty cool. The fake Capcom. I shouldn't call it Capcom because it's not real. But the fake Capcom 245 in 1 works on this. So unlike some of them, this one can run other hack cartridges, which some of them don't. That is pretty darn cool. Yeah. Alright, let's try running an actual game and make sure that that works. Yeah, it went right into Thexter. I'll be darned. Well, I'll be. By far, the weakest version of Thexter out there is the Nintendo version. Come here, you. Now let me transform. But any version of Thexter is better than no Thexter at all. Alright, I think I am ready to give a verdict now that I have tested this thoroughly. So what is the verdict on the Super 8-bit game that looks a heck of a lot like a PlayStation? Well, geez. I say it every time. It's a mixed bag. Most of this bag is kind of full of crap, but it does some things well, and I guess we'll start with that. First thing it does well is its emulation is pretty solid. It passed the F1 test, which does bungle up a lot of the Famiclones. And yeah, did not reverse the controls at all, so that's really good. I'll give it a thumbs up on that part. It also ran Famicom real game cartridges just fine. I also threw an adapter through and ran a regular NES cartridge, so you could use it for that if you wanted to. The only question is, would you want to do that? Because the controls are amazingly cheap and light, and they look just awful. That said, I didn't have too much trouble with it, an occasional sticking here and there, but an occasional sticking when you're in mid-game is a pretty significant problem now, isn't it? Also, the buttons are about the cheapest things I've ever seen. They wiggle around. Wait, here, let's hold this up. Hopefully it won't mess up. There we go. It wiggles. That is messed up. So, despite the fact that it runs other games, I'm going to give it like a mostly thumbs down. It's cheap. It's around $15, but the fact is I've reviewed sub $10 ones before that technically do a better job. So it is what it is. If you enjoyed what you saw, though, feel free to buy it. I mean, I'll put a link in, but it's not my most recommended one in this price range, even though it's kind of cool looking. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more. And I'll see you in a couple days. Bye! Wonder why this doesn't fit. The heck? Ah, well, I'll deal with it later.